Okay, so you love to travel, right? But you kind of hate the stress that can sometimes come with it. Well, you are in the right place. We're going to break down some absolutely incredible road-tested tips from a super seasoned traveler that will completely change how you think about your next trip. All right, let's get right into it. And look, this isn't just some random advice from the internet. The tips we're covering come from some serious, real-world experience. 7 countries in 3 months, plus over 30 flights in just the last year. I mean, wow. That's a ton of time spent in airports dealing with luggage and figuring things out on the fly. So you know these tips are legit and they actually work. So that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you travel smart, not stressed? How do you make your trip smoother and just way more fun? Well, we've got the answers. So let's break it down, step by step, and get you traveling like a pro. Okay, so first things first, the secret to a chill trip. It all starts before you even leave the house. The absolute key to a relaxed adventure is all in the prep work. Seriously, if you nail this part, the rest is just smooth sailing. All right, your carry-on, think of it as your survival kit. Here's the rule. If you absolutely positively cannot live without it, it goes in your carry-on, period. That means your passport, obviously, a toiletry bag with the essentials, a fresh set of PJs and some clean underwear. Basically, anything that would ruin your trip if it got lost. That way, if your checked bag takes a little detour, it's just a minor hiccup, not a full-blown crisis. Okay, this next tip is an absolute game changer. Seriously. Put an AirTag in every single one of your bags. Your checked bag, your carry-on, all of it. Imagine this. Your luggage gets stuck in London. The airline has no clue where it is. Total chaos, right? But you just whip out your phone and go, actually, I know exactly where it is. The peace of mind is just, it's priceless. Okay, let's talk about your phone for a sec. A little digital prep goes a long way. First, always screenshot your hotel's address and phone number. Why? Because you'll need it for that arrival card they give you on the plane, where there's definitely no Wi-Fi. Second, and this is a cool one, use Google Maps Street View to virtually walk the block around your hotel. You get a feel for the neighborhood before you even arrive. And finally, come on, you know this one. Don't count on the airline's movie selection. Download your own shows, music, whatever, beforehand. All right, you're all prepped, so now it's time to face the beast, the airport. But don't worry, it's often the most stressful part, but with a few of these hacks, we're gonna conquer it. Okay, if you travel at all, even just once or twice a year, listen up. One of these services is going to change your life. So you've got TSA PreCheck. That's your go-to for flying inside the US. You get to keep your shoes on, laptop in your bag. It's amazing. Then there's Global Entry. That's the VIP pass for international travelers coming back to the States. You breeze through customs, and it includes PreCheck. And Clear, that's the ultimate line skipper. It uses your eyes or fingerprints to jump you to the front of the security line. It's fantastic. Whoa. Okay, this next one is a huge heads up. You really need to hear this. Before you buy a power bank, flip it over and make sure it has that little airplane symbol on it. A traveler recently shared a crazy story from a trip to China where security was just tossing out any power bank that didn't have that symbol. Can you imagine? Just gone. Don't let that be you. Okay, here's an insider tip. Especially if you're flying on some Asian airlines, be ready for them to weigh your carry-on suitcase right at the gate. And if it's too heavy, they're going to make you check it. This is exactly why your super important stuff, your laptop, your medicine, your passport, stays with you in your personal bag, not that roller suitcase. Yes, you made it. Touchdown. Okay, so now what? Let's talk about how to actually thrive at your destination, not just survive. These next tips are going to save you money and make your trip way better. Pay attention because this is probably the #1 money tip for traveling abroad. When you're at an ATM and it gives you that confusing screen asking if you want to be charged in your home currency or the local one, you hit local currency every single time. No exceptions. So what's the deal with that anyway? It's something called dynamic currency conversion, which is just a fancy name for a total ripoff. Basically, the foreign bank is offering to do the math for you at a really, really bad exchange rate. When you choose the local currency, you let your bank do the math. And trust me, your bank gives you a much better deal. It's a tiny button press that saves you real money. Okay, let's talk tech again. A VPN, a virtual private network, is like a Swiss Army knife for travelers. For one, it keeps you safe from scammers when you're on that sketchy public Wi-Fi. It also lets you access all your streaming shows from back home. But here's the really cool part. You can use it to unlock local-only stuff. Like, one traveler set their VPN to Taiwan and was able to get a reservation at a restaurant that only took bookings from local phone numbers. How cool is that?
All right, jet lag. Ah, the worst, right? Well, the trick to beating it is all in your head. The second your feet hit the ground in a new place, you are on local time. That's it. You eat when they eat, and you sleep when they sleep. Don't even think about what time it is back home, because that's the fastest way to mess yourself up. Just live in the new time zone.
Look, let's be real. No matter how perfectly you plan, something is going to go wrong. It just is. Travel is unpredictable. So this last part is all about mindset. How to handle those curveballs when life, decides to throw them at you. And I absolutely love this next idea. It's a total mindset shift. Just adopt this phrase. It's part of the plot twist. So you walk for 30 minutes in the heat to get to that restaurant you were dreaming about, and it's closed. Ugh. But instead of getting mad, you just say, part of the plot twist. Isn't that brilliant? It turns a disaster into just another chapter in your adventure story. Okay, let me give you a perfect example of a major plot twist. So you've got a couple. They're at the airport in LA, trying to get to San Francisco to catch their big international flight. They're all set to go, and then they hear those dreaded words. Your flight has been canceled. And it gets worse. The airline basically says, sorry, we've got nothing else for you today. But they have to get to San Francisco. They're about to miss their dream vacation. This is panic mode, right? This is where a trip can completely fall apart. But here's where the story gets awesome. Because they kept a cool head, they started looking at other options. And they found out a seat on a semi-private jet. Yeah, you heard that right. A semi-private jet costs the exact same as a last-minute ticket on another regular airline. So a canceled flight, a total disaster, turned into the coolest travel story ever. So here's what I want you to take away from all this. Your next trip, it's not just an itinerary. It's a story that you haven't written yet. And I can promise you, that story is going to have some plot twists. The only question is, are you ready to embrace them and write a great one?